The Kashmir Valley is gifted with extraordinary beauty in the form of wondrous landscapes, snow-clad mountains, pine and deodar forests, lush freshwater springs, and ice-cold gushing rivers and beautiful lakes. All these water bodies come under cold water resources to support the cold water fishery culture in Kashmir. Vular, Dal, Manasbal lakes are famous all over Jammu and Kashmir for fish species such as common carp, Amur carp and the schizothorax species. With human encroachments and climate change, many of these fish are endangered. At the same time, rearing and protecting these fish and some other new varieties has the potential to increase the income of those engaged in fish farming. It is for this reason that the Government of India has started an important program, Mission Cold Water Fisheries Development Action Plan, to enhance the food and employment security of rural and urban areas of hill states. This is part of the larger mission to double farmers' incomes across the country. So in this episode of Science for a Self-Reliant India, our team travelled to the Valley of Kashmir to visit some unique cold water fish cultivation and rearing research stations of the country, to explore and witness how science research and management tools are being used to give a boost to cold water fishery in the country. These include the national and also J&K's first aqua clinic for fish. So let's begin this fascinating journey. Fish cultivation is an important sector in aquaculture. Aquaculture is the breeding, rearing and harvesting of fish, shellfish, algae and other aquatic organisms such as prawns, etc. in all types of water environments. Basically, it's farming in water. In the wake of global food security, aquaculture is gaining importance in many regions of the world. It is also one of the fastest growing food sectors in the world with a growth rate of around 6%. Inland fisheries and aquaculture constitute the main components of the fisheries sector in India from a production point of view. The inland resources are in the form of rivers and canals, freshwater lakes, ponds, tanks, reservoirs and brackish water resources. The inland fisheries sector in our country also plays a great role in nutritional security and employment generation. Cold water fisheries are an important resource for the people residing in the uplands of India. India has rich resources in terms of upland rivers and streams, high and low altitude natural lakes, in addition to man-made reservoirs which exist both in the Himalayan regions and the Western Ghats. There are 16 big and small rivers in the Himalayan Peninsula regions having an area of about 3,885 kilometers. Cold water fisheries occupy an important place amongst the freshwater fishes of India. Cold water fishery essentially means that the water temperature ranges from 0 to a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius even in summer. In the states with higher altitudes such as the Himalayan states, which do not have ideal climatic conditions for large-scale land farming, hence the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying Government of India has plans for enhancement and strengthening of cold water fisheries as one of the promising sectors. Therefore, Mission Cold Water Fisheries Development Action Plan 2022 has been formulated to conserve and enhance cold water fisheries in an economically, socially and environmentally responsible manner and to promote fish farming in the hill region. The Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, together with other Himalayan regions such as Himachal Pradesh, are front runners in promoting cold water fisheries, especially the rainbow trout. The Union Territory and the region of Jammu and Kashmir is bestowed with natural cold water resources which exist in the form of cold water streams, lakes, glacial rivers, springs and high altitude lakes. These waters possess great potential for development of varied types of fisheries like cold water fisheries, sport fisheries, reservoir fisheries, etc. The potential of these resources in supplementing nutrients and food demand and generating employment is crucial. In the case of the Kashmir Valley and the regions of Ladakh, which are cold water areas, the focus is on rearing trout and some Chinese carps owing to the favorable agroclimatic conditions of these regions, which include low temperature and the abundance of cold water rivers and streams. In addition to the feed and the seed supply to the farmers, a dedicated health management unit, an aqua clinic or the fish hospital was set up to regulate the health and optimum conditions of the livestock. This unique fish hospital was established with the aim to cut farm losses. This is the region's first initiative. In fact, there are only a few other states in India which have such a facility. Since its inauguration in 2018, the Aqua Clinic has connected to more than 300 farmers. The farmers were complaining that species like trout were dying for strange reasons. Experts from this hospital helped in identification, diagnosis as well as treatment of various pathogens and diseases that attack fish. Fish farmers are the primary beneficiaries of the service of the hospital and are provided with regular services, treatment of their livestock, workshops on know-how, mass awareness programs, etc., so that they can reduce the mortality of their livestock and increase their revenue. This aqua clinic has about 30 to 40 water tanks and 3 laboratories. The main laboratory is the pathology lab, which is used for the diagnosis of different types of diseases. Then there is also a cell culture lab which serves the dual purpose of developing cell lines from the local cold water species and also isolates and characterizes fish viruses. The team at the laboratory tries to first establish the primary cell culture from the local fishes. So far, 2 primary cultures have been successfully developed and work is in progress to develop cell culture for the other local species. To develop the primary cell culture, the first step is the preparation of fish sample. For that, the fish species is brought to the laboratory and proper antibiotic treatment is given to the fish prior to the acclimatization. After that, other necessary tests are conducted. Then, the primary cell culture is developed. The long-term goal is to develop a repository of fish virus to that cause. Development and treatment of various diseases are then easily known and appropriate therapeutic solutions are developed. In the event of a disease outbreak, the role of a fish health professional is to isolate the affected population or sometimes the entire pond or water body, and then work on identification and characterization of the fish virus or pathogen and to develop appropriate treatment strategies. If the pathogen of interest is isolated and identified properly, the therapeutics can be developed which are then vital in controlling the fish disease. Once the disease is controlled, the farmer can get the desired productivity of the fishes in his farm. That way, the role of the cell culture lab is integral for fish farming.
Also, our lab has a role to play because the therapeutics of viral disease in the context of cold water fishes relies on the establishment of a cell culture facility, a virus repository, and after that only we can develop the therapeutics to control the fish diseases prevalent in the cold water sector. So in that way, our lab has a very important role to play.
From providing mass awareness workshops, know-how of managing diseases and fish health issues at the farm level, the Aqua Clinic has also created an Android application for fish farmers through which the farmers can stay connected to the hospital farmers on the application. Most importantly, the Aqua Clinic has been able to identify more than 18 types of diseases in the cold water sector in Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh and other hilly regions of India, and has successfully treated all types of diseases, whether they are viral, fungal, parasitic or bacterial diseases.
This concept of fish hospital basically means to provide adequate type of knowledge, the scientific based fisheries knowledge to our farmer community, to provide them the fish health management services, to provide them all the services which they require to increase their fish production. I think if this idea is being replicated in other parts of the India, this will have a lot of benefit to the stakeholders.
Fish farming is playing a crucial role in the economy of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Besides generating employment for the youth across the length and breadth of the Union Territory, it is also contributing to the food basket of the region. Applying scientific knowledge and management practices to cold water fisheries ensures maximum output and higher returns for the fish farmers. Earlier, fish feed, which forms an essential element in fish management and cultivation practice, was not produced locally and thus had to be procured from other states such as Karnataka. Now that the fish feed mill has been set up in Kashmir, which produces high quality and waste-free feed, it ensures that farmers get timely and high quality feedstock which is manufactured locally. It is not only cost effective but also farmer friendly.
See, the Atma Nirbhar Bharat concept, every Indian is connected with this, and he should be connected with this Atma Nirbhar Bharat to have self-sustainability. If we empower our farmer, if we give our farmer the idea how to double his income by reducing the losses and adding more fish food to his basket, this will at least make our fish farmer self-sufficient. He will try to believe in his business, he will try to believe in fish farming, and at the end of the day, he will be able to contribute towards the development of the nation.
Cold water fishery is fast emerging as a viable economic activity suited to the geographical and climatic conditions of the Himalayan regions, such as Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh and other hilly states. It is not only contributing to the food security of the region, but is also giving a huge push to the entrepreneurial capabilities of the local youth, hence creating many employment opportunities. Besides, the scientific research and development in the area is putting India on the global map of cold water fish cultivation. This entire program is truly shaping the idea of an Atmanirbhar Bharat and the government's mission to double farmers' income in the next few years.